Some of you will know what this is going to be. Some of you won't, and you'll wonder why, but yeah. Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode, or the first proper episode of Rebuilding Bolton. If you're looking forward to the full series, drop a like, that'd be lovely. Helps out that silly old YouTube algorithm. So, here's what's happened over this period, because we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. There have been some transfers, mostly loans, but I believe there is a permanent one in there or two. And I've done a lot of work trying to build a sort of a tactical approach that I think could work for us this season, since I'd given myself that sort of a rigid idea of playing that exact shape. I've been trying to make something work, and I think we've got an idea of something that could well work for us. That's the hope anyway. So a little oversight on my part was the fact that I didn't realise that the club were £34 million in debt. I thought the debt was gone now. I thought we were back to being cool. I thought we were easy. No, we weren't. It was anything but easy. And it turns out that we're going to be losing £500,000 a month just in debt repayments. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Also, one of the things we really like to do, particularly with these saves, but with all my saves really, is that we love rumours about the players. And what I mean by rumours is just things that aid the story in some way. So if any of the players I've currently got, any of the players I bring in, feel free to drop rumours in the comments section, as well as over on the Discord, link in the description. There's a whole channel specifically for that too, so do head over there as well. So one thing I think I forgot to mention, although I did mention this on Twitter, was that Ben Putman-Kiteley, turns out he was half Jamaican. I could not have imagined him being Jamaican when, I never actually looked at his info page the entire time he was at Whitport, which was a long time. But yeah, half Jamaican is my man Ben, but I got Chelsea as a senior affiliate. Normally, I'm unable to get them that early in the save. Most of the time, the board are just like, either not interested or will fail in finding one. But they gave me a choice of Chelsea or Arsenal. I felt like at the moment, Arsenal might have actually had better players that they were willing to loan to us, but Chelsea had better youth facilities. And I feel like long term, with us going through this save, Chelsea will be a better affiliate club for us to have, because you know what Chelsea are like with loans. They love them. One of the traditions of a rebuilding save for me is that I have an outfit that I wear, a transfer outfit, usually in transfer window episodes, obviously not today because we don't have one, and it's usually an outfit that relates to the club or the area in some way. And I'm very interested in your thoughts as to what the transfer outfit should be for rebuilding Bolton. Again, put it in the comments, put it in the Discord. If you see one you like, upvote it, whatever. And then we'll get ourselves a costume that we can use for future transfer episodes. Right then, without any further ado, let's get into some transfers, because that's what we're really here for. And I'm just going to jump straight in. Some of you will know what this is going to be. Some of you won't, and you'll wonder why, but yeah. Why, yes, it is Regan Booty. Regan Booty is a Bolton player. Oh, they've done my boy dirty. I just don't think that they've made him as good as he has been in recent years. Now, I guess that kind of makes sense, as his career hasn't perhaps gone the way you would liked in real life. But I've now had Regan Booty at Stockport, Notts County, even Whitport for a bit, and now here at Bolton, because he was a free agent, and I thought to bring him in, £375 a week on a 4-year deal. I could hardly say no. So Regan Booty is a Bolton player. Hopefully he can continue to grow and be the best he can be, which may not be as good as it was before, because in recent games I've had this guy in the Premier League playing for me, but it doesn't seem that we're going to quite get that this time around. But it's a tradition, and I like a bit of tradition over here. So Booty's in for virtually no money. Now, one of the other things I've done to free up a bit of extra cash is renegotiate contracts of some of our more highly paid players, with a few exceptions who would not talk to me at all about contracts. So I managed to get a few players down by a few £100 here and a few £100 there, just by manipulating the clauses around a little bit. It's a very good way of freeing up some money when you first get into saves, quite frankly. I also bought in Carlo Ziga, a Croatian goalkeeper on loan from Chelsea. He was one of the 2 players Chelsea would loan us. Now, I don't actually mind our other on-loan goalkeeper, Krillin, because he's worse in some ways than Carlo Ziga, but he does have better first touch and eccentricity, and his passing's better. And I am using a sweeper keeper on defend, just to sweep up a little bit, because I noticed in a friendly at one point, a goal we conceded would have been prevented with a sweeper keeper. That's generally how I make changes. So this is one of these things that I may actually change this deal, but the thing is, he's free. We're not paying a single penny for him, so I may just keep him around based on the fact that he's free, and we're only ever going to have one goalkeeper in the squad at one point anyway, so it won't actually affect the loan rules. So I may just keep him around for that alone. Next up is a bigger outlay. This is Tayden Mengi, who is on loan from Manchester United. Now, this is the first time in a long time I've actually seen a comment and go, you know what, I'm going to have a look at this guy. And I did. Someone put a comment on last night's video. I looked up Mengi. They said he was good for them, and I can bloody see why. Christ, he is very, very fast for a centre-back, which is great for getting him out of trouble. He plays as a covering role, which is fantastic because I use a covering role in the middle of my back three. We'll talk about the tactic more in a bit. heading not spectacular, but he's only 18 years old and he's playing in League 2. He's very, very quick. He's got great jumping reach for someone who's only 6 foot tall. He is a bouncy boy. Good marking, good marking and tackling, positioning solid. Bravery's a little bit on the low side and his aggression could maybe do with being a bit higher, but I still like this guy a lot. He's been good in the friendlies. He's been solid in the competitive matches we've played so far, which admittedly is just a Carabao Cup tie and a Papa John's stupid trophy no one cares about tie. So those 2 games I will talk about briefly, but we're actually coming back to our first league game today. Then we've got a friendly face that some of you may remember from another one of my saves. It's Brandon Fleming. I was on the lookout for... Let me just turn the attribute analysis on here so you can actually see a bit better. I was on the lookout for a wingback because on the left side we are a little bit lax. We've got Maskell, but Gethin Jones is kind of the only man who's a really strong wingback. So I thought the problem with Maskell is that he just lacks things like tackling as far as I can remember. So Brandon Fleming is the man for that. We've got him on loan from Hull, £600 a week, so not huge money. He's been good for me in previous games, and I actually didn't expect to find a player like this still available to get out on loan at this point in the save, but we've got him anyway, and he's got great crossing, and I want to see if he hasn't really played. Oh no, he did play in the Carabao Cup, tell a lie. Wasn't actually that great in that game, if I'm honest, but nevertheless, I think he's a good piece of business to bring him in on a loan for the season. And the last loan signing, or the last actual signing we've made so far, now of course the window isn't shut yet, so there is still more time, but we've got one more potential signing in the pipeline, just to back up that central midfield role a little bit. This is Callum Slattery, on loan from Southampton. Now I was supposed to be getting a guy from Aston Villa, and I can't remember his name, Jacob something or other, plays in the same kind of role. He is slightly better, but when I originally looked at him, Villa wanted £1,000 a week. They wanted you to pay half of his wages because he's on 2k. I thought, cool, we'll sort out some money and come back for him. But the time I was able to sort out the money for him, they then wanted you to pay his full wage, which I couldn't afford at the time. So we went for a slightly cheaper option in Callum Slattery, who frankly I still think is a very, very good player, just a very accomplished attacking midfielder. The plan is to play him alongside Crawford with Owen Doyle in front of them and pushing Sarcevic back into the midfield to play in that sort of central midfield role. But we can move them around, which is the beauty of this. And heck, Slattery could play deeper if we need him to. That's the hope. Admittedly, he hasn't actually played a game for us yet because he only signed yesterday. Bit of a risk spending that amount of money, but I just felt like maybe if there's any player that we could spend it on, it should be someone like him. Because our attacking midfield options started to get quite slim after the first couple of players. If we got an injury or two, we'd be in trouble. The only players that have gone out are Ryan Colvin, who's gone out on loan to Aldershot. As part of his new deal, he demanded that I sort out a loan for him. He is on a bit more money now, but he's gone out on loan, so that's fine. That's off the wage bill anyway. And the same applies to Finlay Hurtlocker, which is what I've just decided to steer into the skid and start calling him anyway. Same kind of thing. Wanted to sign a new deal. We signed a new deal. He's got a nice long contract. I think there's even an extension on it too. But as part of that, he insisted on a loan spell, so we've loaned him out to Dulwich Hamlet. Hopefully he'll do well. Hopefully he'll develop. Not really sure where he has an option for us. Maybe we could even retrain him to play through the middle. I don't know. Part of what I was doing was wondering if I was making a mistake with the system we were playing. But I think if I was going to play wingers, we really only had options on the right-hand side with Isgrove, and we would have had to sign a lot more personnel in order to make a system with wide players really work. So I persisted with what we've got. Isgrove, though, is a bit of a problem child in many respects, as I don't like to sell, when I start these saves, players who are very highly rated at the club they're at, because that stands to reason in my head that they are a regular starter for them, and there's definitely a purpose there. But I cannot seem to fit him into my squad at the moment, and if I can find a way to move Lloyd Isgrove on for some money, and get some money off the wage bill too, then I may not be opposed to doing that, quite frankly. For the good of the team and whatnot. So, what have we done tactically over this period? You'll see we're on version 4 of this shape. So what I did basically, we went to positive because I like positive as a sort of starting point. Often I end up sticking with it, but sometimes I do change from that, and we may have to have a sort of a gander at that. As for the defensive side of things, I decided to keep things very, very neutral. Not playing a too high of a line. Simple. I might change that over time if we figure out a way to make that work, but for now I just kept things very, very basic. Tighter marking, pressing again, very, very neutral. The only thing I did want to do was have the forcing the opposition's width out wide, because with a back five like this, we've got 3 centre-backs. Let them cross it. We're going to outnumber whoever they've got in the box for the most part, and we've got strength in our centre-backs. Obviously these won't start today. This is just from our last friendly. As for the transitions, standard counter and counter press sort of stuff. I like a counter press and I like to counter. It allows us to play a sort of slow build-up play, except when we're on the counter, and it allows us to kind of have a bit of both worlds. Distributing fairly quickly for the goalkeeper. Again, may change that because I find sometimes he's ignoring our instructions as a result of that. And then I did start just distributing to the centre-backs because we have 3 of them. But I found that my goalkeeper very often would just lump it instead of distributing it, even if only one of them was marked up. So I've added distribute to fullbacks on as well, and that seems to alleviate that a little bit. He does still lump it sometimes, though. As for the front line, but playing out of defence, shorter passing, Tempo, I might be tempted to move the tempo around a little bit. Again, not sure on that one yet. It's a work in progress, you see. It's hard to know, particularly with the friendlies we've had. A lot of them have been in games that we weren't really going to get much from anyway, but we needed the money, so we kind of had to keep them. Work ball into the box as well. Pass into space. Now, this is something I've been really finding interesting on FM21. You can, before, it didn't feel like you could get away with pass into space and work ball into the box, because often what would happen is that one would just override the other, and you just end up lumping the ball for no reason. Now, the players seem to have way more intelligence, so they will find those little passes into the space when it's appropriate. If not, they'll keep working that possession, and it allows you a bit more freedom on the break. That's what I've noticed in friendlies anyway. Getting people like Doyle in behind a lot more, and allowing more fluid breakaways. So we have played 2 other games, and I'm going to quickly give you a rundown of those now, very, very fast. Because first up, we hosted Grimsby in the EFL Cup. Pretty poor performance from both sides. We kept a lot of the ball, didn't do much else than that. We were maybe slightly better than them, but it's negligible, frankly. We won on penalties in the end. That's all it took. And then it was against Newcastle's under-23s in the stupid trophy no one cares about. And again, similar story. This time, much better defensively, but once again, failed to create enough to really break them down. But again, you'll see from the lineup here, I very much played a rotated side for this game. Like, very, very rotated. So season preview-wise, Forest Green, 9th in the league. They're expected to do fairly well. So let's go. Obviously, going to change the team around massively. That goes without saying. I'll do a selection vice, and I'll change it on the fly here. So Doyle, Crawford, Slattery, not Comley. I want to start Regan Booty. They prefer Comley, but he lacks the passing ability and the vision. He's only got like 9 vision, and that does matter, believe me. Fleming, Jones, Delaney, Mengi, and Baptiste. That back 3 is very good. Mengi just seems to be able to win things. He is so composed on the ball. Really, really like him. And Ziga in goal for now. As for the bench, okay, let me just, I've got a couple of players on trial here. Let me just filter out players that are unavailable. We don't need those guys around the squad right now. Still got a lot of options, though. Darcy, I want to make sure is on the bench, at the very least. It's a shame he's not going to get to start, but with Crawford and Slattery, you can't. Kyoso, I do like, but he's got a slight injury, so he won't make the bench today. I feel like he will need to make the bench at some point for us, but not just yet. Is Maskell is on the bench. Good. The only thing we could do with Isgrove is maybe retrain him to play through there as well. I don't know. But I might just go with that for now. We have a wealth of possibilities at the back line. This is quite a strong team, I feel like. It's well balanced in the right areas. I really like the way this back 5 operates, though. It really does seem to sit. It looks really like fluid and confident. Nice to see Luke McGee in goal here for Forest Green. That's an interesting one. So yeah, they play a very similar system to us, really, except with an extra striker. So this could be an interesting battle, actually. First professional proper league game in this save. I can only hope for good things, but it also isn't the end of the world if it's not. Oh, okay. Bring it back. Oh, Slattery needs a squad number. Fair enough. It's also a bit knackered too. What are we going to do? Not number 12. We don't have number 12s. Number 12s, that's the fans. The fans of the 12th man. I have high hopes, but honestly, I'd just settle. If we scraped it 1-0, I'd be happy. Just to give us that first win. Stop the, wow, motivated already. Just to keep us up in the right mindset from the off. Players didn't particularly like that, did they? Have faith in you. There we go. That's more like it. Have faith in you. That's more like it. One thing I don't like so much is the fact that when you do this for the third set of players, it removes all of them. Now, I don't know if that's actually removing all of them or whether it's just a graphical glitch. I hope it isn't, because that would be annoying. Oh, we get this. Cool. I do like this screen. It's a cool system. It's something I don't think I've ever played this exact shape before on Football Manager, ever. So this could be horrendous for all I know. We just have to have hope. Oh, we get a league table at the start of these games as well. That's fit. Wow, that's awesome. And away we go. I don't know why the outside is purple. I thought you'd get like the cool like outside of the stadium stuff in this mode. It's very odd. So we'll have to see why that is. Well, we're absolutely dominating the ball so far, but with really little quality to show for it just yet. But 69% possession for a bit, so that's nice. Here we go. A highlight. Imagine that. Crawford, oh, he's been dispossessed, but Booty will pick this up. I find Booty just pulls into these lovely pockets of space and is just able to pick nice passes. Oh, Crawford's dispossessed him well here. Fleming's very, very advanced, but now we got a chance to cut through the middle here. Crawford taking on 2 or 3 people. Back for Booty. Look at the space for Fleming. Can he find the right pass? No, he doesn't. Doyle. Oh, those are dangerous, though. If that falls to Owen Doyle there's a very good chance of a goal. Delaney recycling the possession, though. Nice ball for Slattery. He's dropped a bit deeper. Sarcevic. Doyle. Oh, where's the ball through? It's got to come in a minute now. He's gone for goal. Okay. Better. It's not been a magical start, but it's something. Booty's delivery. Back post, and it's headed over the bar by Mengi. Oh. Is it Mengi or Menji? Or Menge? I don't know. It feels like one of those names that could be pronounced multiple ways. Well, half-time in a very stagnant first half. I mean, we're limiting Forest Green to nothing. Defensively, we look very stable. Just not quite getting enough going forward ourselves. The momentum's not quite shifted in our direction. I do find, though, and this is what I noticed particularly, I can't remember which game it was, when teams try to come at you a bit more, that pass into space really works. Okay, I've got to G the players up a little bit. Pump fists, you have the ability to make a real difference. Okay. I mean, A guy standing there pumping his fist must be somewhat unnerving, to be fair to the lads. Oh dear. Come on. Better second half. Keep the defensive stability. See if we can find ourselves a goal. Even if we just have to steal a 1-0 victory here, it would be a good start for us. We can then build it on and see what happens over like 5 or 6 matches. It does concern me slightly that this would be our 3rd straight game that would potentially finish 0-0. We don't really want that. Or Booty's done well to dispossess him. Can he slip Doyle through? Oh no, Regan. There was a chance on there. That's what I want to see. Oh, Doyle's in. Blocked. Oh, goalkeeper, dangerous. Right, chance for a continuous... Oh, no. It's not high quality. Geffen Jones had a really poor day, apparently. Well, 15 minutes to go. It's not a classic. But I won't care if we get the win. It'd be nice to keep another clean sheet. That's key. Oh, Doyle nearly... Right, here we go. Crawford's onto it. This is better. Opening the play up a little bit. Maybe Forest Green are coming out their shell trying to go for the win. And we might be able to steal something. Doyle's header! Saved by McGee. Okay. Oh, 89th minute. Can we pull out... Oh my God, what a dreadful clearance by Luke McGee. This is what we've been waiting for. Something like this. Men in the box. Darcy's in there. Oh, it's cleared. But Jones should keep this in. Men in the box here. Jones is going to get there. Whips it across. Oh, Fleming's going to smash this, isn't he? I can feel it. Let me get my mouse out of the way. Crawford. Darcy! Oh, no. It's a free kick to Forest Green. After all that, that was the highlight. I think that's going to be another 0-0 for us. Not the fantastic start to the season. Definite levels of defensive stability, though. That's a good sign. We're very stable at the back. Don't look like conceding, but today was not a flourishing attacking performance from us. I think you could argue we were definitely the better side. We certainly got a little bit better towards the end of the game, but not enough to actually create the victory in the end. Very cagey affair that ends in a 0-0 draw. Our 3rd consecutive 0-0 draw. What are the odds of that, eh? Delaney, though, had a very good game. Booty controlled things. That left-hand side definitely looks like a good source for us. Jones seemed to improve in the second half as well. But Darcy, Doyle and Crawford just could not quite get anything going for us in this game. But I do still feel like we should have won. And by that, I don't mean that we deserve to, just that we should have. But it's not the end of the world. We've got a next game up against Oldham, then we go away to Colchester United. So, next episode, I don't know exactly what games we're going to be doing. It's a bit up in the air at this point. So I think we're actually going to come back for Newport and Harrogate. We're going to do Oldham and Colchester off camera, come back for Newport and Harrogate. That way, if there's any more transfers, we can actually talk about it without having to wait ages, because there may well still be some more movements if I can find the money. So, if you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope you have, drop a like, that would be excellent. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, that would be awesome too. If you enjoy other content of mine, go follow over on Twitch. I stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and at the weekend. And I will see you guys tomorrow for some more Rebuilding Bolton. Thank you so much for watching. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.